special Halloween edition. On Halloween, I dress up like an old guy. All right. So, time now for news. We've got a few things. I wasn't here yesterday. Sorry, I missed yesterday. It was Monday. I had the Monday blues. Litigation. We've got litigation in the news. Randy Bachman and Burton Cummings, original members of the Guess Who since their formation under that name in 1968, have filed a lawsuit against the band currently using the moniker on tour. Now, guys, it's a sign of the times in the classic rock world. I'll give you some examples after I share this with you. So there is a band called the Guess Who that has like put out like 2 or 3 albums that I'm aware of over the last couple years. And here's the thing, guys. They're pretty dang good. They got this Robin Zander impersonator as their lead singer who looks like Robin Zander from 1980 and sings like Robin Zander. They've got some catchy tunes. My personal opinion is lose the fat guy on the drums, who's the only one that was in the Guess Who, and just be your own band. I mean, they had Rudy Sarzo in the band for a while. They put out a good, real catchy stuff. The problem is they're calling themselves the Guess Who. So now Randy Bachman and Burton Cummings are suing these guys, Cummings, because I guess Randy Bachman and Burton want to tour as Guess Who. They were at least in Guess Who. So the Guess Who band, present day, all they got is the fat drummer. What's his name? Peterson? Whatever. There's a lawsuit. So Randy and Burton they filed a lawsuit, say, hey, quit calling yourself the Guess Who, because the non-suspecting public go to the show thinking they're going to see the Guess Who. Well, all they see is the fat drummer from the Guess. This is nothing against fat guys. Okay. Fat drummer sounds good. So I'm saying fat drummer. I got nothing against fat people or fat drummers, but it is in fact a fat drummer in this current incarnation that calls itself the Guess Who. Randy Bachman and Burton Cummings are sick and tired of it, and they're not going to take it anymore. So they're trying to get them to change their name. But as I said earlier, this group calling themselves Guess Who, they got some catchy tunes. I wouldn't mind seeing them. They should just call themselves something else. Don't call yourselves Cheap Trick, though, because no one from Cheap Trick is in the band. But the dude could be Robin Zander. I'm just saying. By the way, on this date in history, back in 1986, if you're following us on X, formerly Twitter, you'd know this. On this date in 1986, Roger Waters went to the High Court of England to try and block the remaining members of Pink Floyd from using the name Pink Floyd. Litigation. It's nothing new. It's been going on for a while. But in the case of Roger Waters, it was a jerk move because the 3 guys he was suing were actually members of Pink Floyd. 3 of the 4 surviving members of Pink Floyd wanted to be called Pink Floyd. One dude was trying to get them to not do it. He lost. And of course, Pink Floyd has been pretty successful without Roger since that time. At least they had been. They had a long run of success after. They aren't really doing anything now, but you get my point. Okay, fans of live music, fans of live, let me try that again. Fans of live music, fans of long beards, fans of rednecks, rejoice, because they're doing it again. Skynyrd, Freebird. They're touring again with ZZ Top. The Sharp Dress Simple Man Tour. Someone's calling about that already. So they're going out on tour. They've done it several times before. Really big live ticket. If you can see them. Lynyrd Skynyrd again. No live, no original members. Well, got to be careful when I say that. Medlock was a member of Skynyrd before he was in Blackfoot, but way back in the early history of the band. He's in Skynyrd, and we got Johnny Van Zant, brother of Ronnie Van Zant, who's also the brother of Donnie Van Zant. So there is a Van Zant in the band, but Johnny was not in the band, an original. What am I saying? Skynyrd doesn't have all the original members either. But from what I can tell, they put on a great show. I haven't seen this incarnation of Skynyrd. Well, I haven't seen any incarnation of Skynyrd live. ZZ Top, seen them live a few times. Of course, Dusty Hill died, so they can't have all original members. But I got to say, if I had a chance to see Skynyrd and ZZ Top, because I am a fan of live music and long beards, and I am a redneck, I would totally buy tickets to this show. I think it would be great. They're playing in about, every city in the U.S., it looks like. So they're coming to your city. So look out for that. Skynyrd and ZZ Top. Freebird! Go see him. Ace Frehley. And it is pronounced Frehley, not Freely. I grew up calling him Ace Frehley. It's Frehley, Ace Frehley. Ace Frehley has asserted that his upcoming solo album will make former bandmate Paul Stanley look like an imbecile. Asked to spell imbecile, Ace couldn't do it. But he said that Paul will look like an imbecile after this. This is from Ultimate Classic Rock. The ex-Kiss guitarist reported that his sixth LP since relaunching his career in 2009 was almost ready for release, and stated that the fact that he had stayed on track for 15 years proves Stanley and Gene Simmons were wrong when they described him as a liability. Quote, I remember the guy that got me signed to the label. He told me that before Anomaly came out. I'm sorry. I was trying to talk like Ace. I can't do it. Actually, if you want to talk like Ace, you got to kind of go for a Curly of the Three Stooges sound. A lot of people said to him, "You're not even going to get the record," Frehley told 93.5 FM Max in a recent interview, "because Paul and Gene have pretty much tried to destroy my credibility by calling me a drunk and a drug addict and somebody who's not dependable." I don't think he's that way anymore. I don't. But I don't think he can make the case that they were inaccurate about that in the late 70s, because I think Ace was a drunk and a drug addict and not dependable. In fact, they talk about having to have the guitar tech dressed in Ace's costume, makeup, ready to go, because they were never sure Ace was going to make it on time. He'd miss a flight, miss the bus, and there were several times where at the last minute, Ace is coming in to waltz on the stage at the last possible minute to play, because he was not dependable. So I think he's kind of trying to rewrite history there. Anyways, here's the thing about Ace. I think Ace inspired more pimply-faced teenagers to learn to play the guitar than anyone else. I really do. I think Ace was a tremendous influence on a lot of young guitar players. And of the solo Kiss albums, his is 10 times better than the others. So say what you will about Ace, he had the best solo album, and he sailed 1,000 ships. I don't know what that means, but he inspired a lot of nerdy kids like myself to pick up the guitar. I've seen some recent footage of him playing live, and it's not great, guys. I mean, it's kind of some Vince Neil action going on there, but whatever. I like Kiss. I like Ace. I just wish they weren't fighting and whatever. But the new album will make Paul and Gene look like an imbecile, according to Ace Frehley. We have Van Halen news. Wolfgang Van Halen said Van Halen's final album, A Different Kind of Truth, is absent from streaming sites because David Lee Roth wouldn't allow its return. So according to Wolfie, David Lee Roth has a problem with the 2012 release, which featured Wolfgang replacing founding bassist Michael Anthony. And so when the most recent deals expired, he wouldn't give permission to remove them. Now, that's written in such a way that the problem Dave had is that Wolfie replaced Michael. I don't think that has anything to do with it. I don't think that has anything to do with why Dave hasn't renewed it, but whatever. But the way it works on these streaming platforms is you have to have sign off, you have to have a approval or whatever. And Dave is not giving that. So you can't stream A Different Kind of Truth right now, which, so, I mean, it's a big deal. Who cares? I mean, I don't know. Do you guys, is there a big rush for people who want to hear that album? I never really thought it was that great an album. Sorry. Quote, the contract ran out on putting it up on streaming services. This is Wolfie talking to Eddie Trunk. So we've been working on getting it back, but there are some people involved who do not like the record and are not making it easy to get it back up. And then he was reluctant to name names, but eventually it did came out. I mean, yeah, you can put it together. I hate to say it because people will think I'm making stuff up, but it's like, man, I'd love to have the record back up there, but he doesn't like it. And he's not working with us to get it back up there. He added, so I hope people who like it have a physical version of it, because it doesn't sound like anytime soon will it be streaming. By the way, if I could just put this out to the universe, I really wish I could stream Nick Gilder's City Nights album. Anyone in here have anything to do with that? Okay. Nick Gilder's City Nights album from 1978, Hot Child in the City. That should be streamable. That is an awesome album. And frankly, it ticks me off that I can't stream it. I mean, I own it. I own 2 versions of it on vinyl, but dang it, I want to stream it. So if anyone within the sound of my voice has anything to do with Nick Gilder's City Nights album, let me know what I can do to help get that up on a Spotify so I can listen to it as I'm streaming in my car, because my turntable does not work well in my car. All right. Ozzy Osbourne will be honored with the Icon Award at the first ever Rolling Stone UK Awards that will take place on November 23rd at the Roundhouse in Camden Town, London. So I'm all for Ozzy getting an award, even if it's from Rolling Stone, which we refer to as a steaming pile of poop around here, along with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, a bigger steaming pile of poop, but it's still an award. So we're very happy for Ozzy. The 74-year-old, this is from Blabbermouth, by the way, the 74-year-old who has been struggling with his mobility after his 2019 fall that aggravated a decade-old spine injury and his 2020 Parkinson's disease diagnosis, answers to the name Lucky, will be in attendance at the event, and he will make a speech to the nominees, guests, and VIPs gathered in the venue. However, he will not be performing on the night. He will not be performing on that night. Quote, I've had a long career and I've raised a few effing eyebrows along the way, and I've met some amazing people too. I've done some good gigs and I've done some effing bad gigs. Thanks very much for giving me this award. It really means a lot to me. So congratulations to Ozzy, and not just to Ozzy, but to you all as well. Happy Halloween. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Newest episode went up on Friday. We talk about AC/DC's Back in Black, so check that out. Also, you can become a subscriber on X for just $1 a month. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time. Take care. Live long and prosper.